they been able to process that they have made the Olympic team? Neb?
Well, it's an honor to be on the Olympic team for the third time. The race started great, and you know, it was tough. Just get it down to a few people as possible, get down to 5 people, and then we talked about it. Hey, let's be on the team. And we, 3 of us had dialogue with about 4 or 5 months ago, just all about being on the team, and then fortunately God's will gave me a little push at the end, but it's not about even first, second, third. It's all about being on the team, and I'm just delighted to be part of these guys to go to London. And I was thinking throughout the race that to my girls want more to the Olympics, so it was all for them, for me personally. So it's just an honor to be on the stage, at the podium, to be able to go to London.
Yeah, you know, echoing what Meb said, it's just an honor to be sitting here with these guys. I was telling them after the race, I was like, I watched you guys make the Olympic team on the 10K when I was in high school. So it's fun. They're making me feel very young, even though I'm 29. But yeah, just an honor to sit up here with these guys, and you know, even watching the other guys come across the finish line after us, and knowing how much work they had put into making bid for the Olympic team, and just realizing, you know, what a huge honor it is to be on this team, and what it takes to get here, and the potential that we have to go, you know, try and win medals. And you know, Meb's shown us it's possible, and a silver medalist sitting right up here, and you know, won New York City Marathon. So he's going to be a great leader for us to sit under. And today was a lot of fun. You know, I accomplished my goal, which was to be completely who God made me to be out there and just having fun with it. That pace car was getting me all riled up. I was seeing the 206 flashing early on, and then even got down to 205 at one point. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to go after. So it was a lot of fun. I will say the wind was a little tough out there for us. It was feeling increasingly windy. The concrete was kind of brutal in the quads, but I'm gonna take a good break now and rest up and enjoy this moment.
You know, first and foremost, I want to give special thanks to my coach and just on God actually, and also, you know, just it's been a long journey for me. Last year and a half, I struggled with injury, but I came to this race health and sound. So, and I'm also like honored to be sitting here with these 2 great guys, Ryan and Meb, and I've been friends with Meb for almost, I don't know, close to 20 years probably. The race was a great race today. You know, Ryan took it out the race. We went out for, I think, 63 high, which was a real good pace. I felt good. You know, just about 5 miles to go. We all together. So Meb said, hey, let's work together and make this team. And that's what we did. And Meb felt a little bit better than us the last 2 miles. And, you know, we're sitting here, we make the team. We going to London, and it's going to be my 4th Olympics, so I'm just happy to be part of this team.
Great, thanks. We are going to open it up for questions. We have a couple of microphones. Please identify yourself and your media outlets. See Michelle, and I'll take this side of the room. Jury?
Hey, Meb. Jury Longman with the New York Times. I've got to ask you about the Breathe Right strip. Did you wear it today, and who held it for you? And I guess you didn't make the same mistake as you did 69 days ago.
I had a couple. I had Howie, my brother and agent, had him on. I said I need to put it on, and I had one with Coach Larson. As an elite athlete, you are always under pressure to get to take everything off and go. It's not like you wear the same shoes, the same socks you warmed out with. And unfortunately, I made that mistake in New York, and it kind of cost me a big PR or higher place. But I believe that through this, that anything's possible, and then I had it on. Yes, it helped me breathe better, and no issue with the wound. It became a wound more so than a blister. But you know, God is great. My wife, at times, she said, you know, this is probably the best thing that ever happened to you. I'm like, how can that be? But Coach Larson, you know, who's been coaching me for 18 years now, and believing in me, you we've been through ups and downs, and it's not like so fine line. We don't want to overtrain, you don't want to undertrain, but it's all about putting the work and consistently, and so going through the race in New York. I said, we're gonna be having fun in Houston, going this pace, and hopefully make the team. And that's what it is. I'm honored to be able to win this race, but guys, a lot of guys would be happy to just be in our shoes, just to be represent our country to London. And, the breathe right is things. I made a mistake. It's not, but it's not like I have the whole time to think about. I remember in New York they said, "You got how many minutes? They have 4 minutes or 3 minutes, and I have to put on my clothes and whatever." And then it felt so good, and putting my shoes on, didn't feel anything, and till about mile 1, I noticed, I feel a little bit outboard, and just the breathe right never came out.
David?
David Moore, USA Today. Ryan, you from like mile 18 to mile 22, you guys went from going like 453, 455 to like 505. Were you struggling at that point, or were you guys saying, let's not worry about the pace, let's just bring it in?
Yeah, at that point it was feeling harder, and I don't know exactly what I attribute that to, because it felt a lot different than previously on that loop. I think maybe we were going into the wind a little bit. At least that's what I was feeling. I was just sick of leading. I was sick of I just wanted to rest, and it was weird because you'd get out of the lead and I'd be sitting behind Abdi and I'd be like, oh man, I feel great. And then so I'd pull up next to him and get back in the lead, and I'm like, this feels bad. So, it's just one of those deals where it's very tough to keep the pace going that whole time, even though that was kind of a pivotal point in the race, because Dathan just started to kind of go back a little bit, and so we were trying to keep it honest, and Abdi and I were talking about that out there, let's just keep it rolling. We got a little bit of a gap, let's just keep moving along. But it was very tough to do that. So my hat's off to Dathan. I think he ran really tough, finishing as close as he did, because he was out there just breaking the wind himself that whole last 10K. So I was really impressed with how he ran and came back. He really battled out there, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on the track. I think he's got some good stuff in front of himself.
Yes, Andy Burfoot, Runner's World. Ryan, you went out hard, not unusual for you, but people said it wouldn't happen at the trials. Were you doing that because there were known quantities in the race who had sort of 10K half marathon credentials, or was there another reason for going out that fast?
I didn't know that people weren't expecting me to go hard. I thought everyone thought I would. Yeah, I was just being me. I wasn't thinking that this is the trials. I need to be really conservative. I knew that I needed to just air it out, and that's the way I run best. And after running 2:04 at Boston, I feel like anything's possible for me. So I get excited by running fast. So that's what I decided to do. I was a little bit bummed when I got out there and I was doing strides, and it was a little bit more breezy than I would have liked, because I knew that would play a pretty big factor into the pacing and how it works out. It's also practice, it's like when we run against the Olympic Games, I've watched these guys run, and they're amazing athletes that we're going to be facing. We're going to be facing 2:03 marathon guys, and after watching New York, being in Boston, I really think it's going to take the hand of God for us to beat them, and I believe in God. He's my coach, and so I'm hoping that his hand will be upon me at the Olympic Games. But what it's going to take is running a race like we did today. I mean, you're going to have to go early, you're going to have to commit to the pace, and it's going to be a war of attrition out there. So I think today, having the race unfold as it did was a very good simulator for the Olympic Games, and I think the three guys that are up here, we made it, and we'll be best, I think, suited for the Olympic Games, because the marathon's changed. Sammy changed it. Guys aren't afraid anymore to go out hard, so we got to be prepared to go out and run very fast opening half.
Bonnie Ford from ESPN.com. Congratulations to all three of you. Bev, two things. I wanted to clarify, are you saying that those 3 weeks you had to take off actually, in hindsight, benefited you? And also, a word from any of you, but Meb first, on maybe thoughts of Ryan Shea today.
I'll answer Ryan Shea first. I saw Stefan earlier today and told him, we have to run for somebody and know who that is. And he rests in heaven, but during training I did thought about it, not just today, but during training. And I ran with Stefan, I think it was after Christmas, and my daughter, the youngest one, 2-year-old, picked up the frame with the Olympic ring on it, with Ryan Shea, Stefan, Dina, Matt Down, and a few other guys trained in 2004. And she picked it up and she just texted me, she's like, what a coincidence, and you think about those a lot, and we talk about Ryan a lot when Stefan was there, and what we used to do, how we did do it, or Ryan was Stefan Shea, it was Stefan and Sam, we tricked him, Ryan and I said, you gotta go up that hill, and he just cuts, he's like, hanging out with us, and said, no way, 12 miles into it, he said, I'm not going down hill, but we were playing a joke on him. And so, we talked, he said, hey, did you go to the ice bath? I'm not crazy your brother, because he used to break the ice and go in there. So, I thought about it, he rests in heaven, and hopefully we can do good things for him again with the Olympics, but he would be very proud of us and me personally, just because there's thousands of miles that I have put with him. I didn't make it 2008, and he's not there to see it, but it's difficult. But in life you have to have hope. You have to live for something, and for me, not be able to go on that team and kind of rejuvenate the power of don't take life for granted, and be able to come back and make the team and win it is a big deal, and he would be very happy. I don't know what the first question was.
Thank you for that beautiful answer. My first question was whether, in retrospect, you think having to take those 3 weeks off actually helped you.
Coach Larson, my dad always said, I train too much. He says I should overtrain or do too much, but I thought about him, and Coach Larson also said the same thing. This could be, we wish we can have another week or two to get you sharper and stronger, but the endurance was there, and Jordanos also said the same thing. This is the best thing that happened to you, and running a PR and winning, they're right. But a lot of people also in Mammoth, we go to the gym and work, and they're like, you're just going to be rested. You need this, and you're going to go back to that fitness. You're not going to lose fitness. Physiologically, you know that you don't lose a lot of fitness in 3 weeks. And you're just not going to be tuned and mechanically sound. But in retrospect, yes, it was the best thing probably happened. But I also ran a PR with it in New York and now. So it's a win-win situation. Going through, my feet got really bad and pretty stinky, and when it got infected, when it got infected with the blood was really bad. But I was very worried at the point, but I believe in God and have faith in Him, and even at times you go through ups and downs, you gotta know what your core strength is and be able to say, hey, He's ultimately in control, and He was in control then, He's still in control now, not me.
Right here.
Hi, Emily Aiken with the local Fox affiliate. Congratulations to all 3 of you. Meb, this goes to Meb, but you guys can answer it too, in case somebody didn't hand you a flag. But Meb, can you talk about the moment, you've got a lot of Houstonians out there rooting for you, and we were all screaming for you, and then all of a sudden you had a flag in your hand, and the crowd went wild. Can you tell us a little bit about that moment? Did somebody give you the little flag, or did you have it in your back pocket, or how'd you get the flag?
I was watching John Bonoy Samuelson at the dinner, and how she picked up the flag going in '84. So, no, I didn't have it in my back pocket. That'll be tough to run with. But I went and there was a guy that was holding the flag. I went and grabbed it, and then he kind of put it a little bit. I grabbed it, and it was just a magical moment. I didn't have the USA jersey like I did in New York when I wanted to point something, and so that's why I did, and be able to, make proud of our country. That's what this is the race what we're doing for, to represent our country, and I would pick it up and try to simulate what Jombone did. And she came in early after the race. She says, "You're my inspiration." I'm like, "How can you be?" She's an inspiration to me, and she wrote the foreword of my book, Run to Overcome. So I try to be as great athlete as those people that have set the stone for us or the steps for us ahead, and trying to be like them and do the best that we can.
Joe Battaglia, Universal Sports. Abdi, can you talk about the period of injury that you went through, and at any point during that period, did you have doubts as to whether you'd be able to make a fourth Olympic team?
Actually, I did a struggle injury like past a year and a half, but at the same time, like injury is something you go through as an athlete. You always have those people who doubt you. They tell you that you're done, and if you listen to what the people say, you will be done definitely. Like that's just example. Meb, he went through the same thing. My injury wasn't as bad as what Meb went through, but it was really bad injury that put me up for almost a year and a half. But when I start training, the beginning of this year, and I stay healthy the period of time, like with a few months, and I say, if everything goes well this year and I stay healthy, I'll be able to make the team because I know I'm one of the premium marathon runners in the U.S. Plus Ryan and Meb, they set the bar so high, so you just have to meet their standards, and if you don't run the way they're running, you're not one of them. So I'm just glad to be back to where they are right now and to contribute to the U.S. marathoning. Just like it's amazing that what happened today. We all run like a 2:09, so I don't think that ever happened. Like 3 U.S. Olympian run the same course around 2:09 is amazing, and I hope we can work together and just accomplish more in the Olympics.
Right here. I have 2 questions for Meb. My name is Terja Becker, and I'm a freelance writer representing the Boulder Camera. Meb, my first question is, they mentioned at the start of the conference that this is one of the, on average, older teams going to the Olympics for the marathon. As you've gotten older, have you changed your training at all, and do you have any advice for more average runners who want to keep running strong as we get older? And then my second question is from my husband, who's a huge fan of yours. Do you still take ice baths in mountain streams?
Well, to your husband's question, yes, I do ice bath. I did it last night. I was shivering quite a bit all day long, but not in the stream. Obviously, even the Mammoth water faucet, if you turn it cold, it was like 36, so I have to put a little bit of hot warm to it. I tell my wife or text her something, I'm on my way, get it to 50 degrees, and she does it for me. But I want to say thank you to Skechers for allowing me to have this opportunity to run, because last year, about a year ago, until August 1st, I didn't have a contract. Pretty depressing at times, and because somebody else didn't believe in me after getting a silver medal and winning New York just 2 years ago. Thank you very much. But it was a tough time that I was going through. How can you do that when you're still ahead? For the major age group that are running the marathons tomorrow or half marathon, it's not the 21s. It's the 25, post-collegiate, or whatever it is, and I hope to be an inspiration to them to go to the ages is a number that you put in your head, but if you work hard and you believe in what you want to accomplish and keep going forward, as long as we have a beautiful sport that we can exercise and run among us with us all the time, and hopefully I could be a good example to them and just say, hey, whether it's to break 4 hours or 5 hours or just finish a marathon, go out there, put the work on, and you will achieve it.
Okay, we have about time for about 3 final questions. So we're going to take one back here.
Meb, after both your experience in 2004 and 2012, I can't wait for you and Bob Larson's book to come out, 5 Weeks Training Guide to the Perfect Marathon. How did it happen? I mean, can you put your finger on some of the key things and how you got here today on 5 weeks of training?
First and foremost, I like to have him get up so everybody knows where Coach Larson is, so you can ask him over there. 18 years. 18 years is a long time, But is, you know, Coach didn't even have to say much to me, but he knows what my work ethic is, and I tell him, hey, this is what I feel like doing, and he says, you know what, ultimately you're gonna be doing it. I feel a little stronger, I need to work on speed. He says, let's do it. So it's just a two-way communication that works, and I have a lot of respect for him, admiration, and you know, I was pretty teary-eyed after I saw him because, you know, he believed in me every step of the way since high school days, graduating from San Diego High and going to UCLA and still working together. So I'm a very committed person, a loyal person, and he's been awesome to work with, and there might be something there.
Now one here and a couple back there.
Weldon Johnson, Electron.com. This question's for Meb. Looking back for the whole year, you talked about, you know, getting dropped by your shoe company, but also this spring, you know, Boston and London didn't offer you the appearance fee you wanted. Were both of those things extra motivation? Do you think that kind of rejuvenated your career, gave you a little extra spark?
When the camera are not watching, when the newspapers are there, they can testify. We work very hard on what we do. It's not easy. You know, whether it's, you know, running and you have to run into a bear, or you have to run into snakes, or whatever it is. There's so many obstacles as a distance runner that we face. No sponsors, no media directors can see. We put a lot of ourselves to danger. You know, sometimes you wonder, in the wilderness, you go out running and you never know who's, you know, what happened to you. But we work hard to make it as professional as possible. But no, every day is what we do. And we get this opportunity like today, or like whether it's Boston or New York, they give out these opportunities, and London, we go there to perform. But I can speak for these guys. We work very, very hard on what we do. And the opportunity comes, you take them, and the other doesn't come, you know. God is always in control for my life. I never knew that coming from Eritrea, that, you know, born there and being here, 12-year-old going for a PE class, will having this kind of attention. But you never know what the future is. But if you believe and work hard and do the right thing, God has a great plan for me, and that's what He has. And who would ever thought I would be sitting here after having a pelvis fracture and making a comeback, making an Olympic team? But I still believe ultimately God is in my control. Not just people that do the shoe contract or meet directors, but they give us the opportunity. I'm thankful for those people that have done that for me. Over the years, 13 years of professional running, I can testify with, you know, Abdi and I are very excited to be in the Olympics 12 years ago. It was the first time we were roommates. But, you know, I'm happy to be with Ryan to be able to give our best shot on London 2012, and that's all that matters.
Okay, one in the back here from television.
Hey, David Solano, local Tribune Broadcasting Station. Matt, question for you. Take us through that last stretch, in that moment when you crossed the finish line, greeted by family members who we're told are from Houston.
Yeah, there's some family members from Houston. My parents are here. I try to take my parents to every marathon that I can, just because, you know, they've done a lot for me and my brothers and sisters. And, you know, family is important to me. Friends are important to me. And it's just, you know, there's some people that I never met that are here to just cheer me on. But, you know, to be able to have that U.S. flag going through the end, and to be able to check USA, 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 the people got into it, the crowd got into it, was just, you know, it's like New York stepping up to the last 200 meter. You know, it was just fun. It doesn't happen every day, and I'm just delighted to have those guys on the team and, you know, giving our best. That's all it is. Ryan will have his day, Abdi will have a day, the other guys that finished there, they will have their day, but today I'm fortunate to be able to be on top, and after all this obstacle that I went through, but like I said, God is ultimately in control, and giving it the best, and 100%. No one coming here, you know, I'm going to give 110%, no matter what happens. But this was my last time, potential trials, and say, hey, do it for the girls, because I really want to take my girls and my wife to the London, because they will remember that for the rest of their life.
And one over here.
David Bear from Houston Chronicle. For Abdi, your USA Track and Field bio says that your family lives in Houston. Is that correct? Is that a relatively recent occurrence?
Yeah, they used to live in Houston, yeah, but they no longer live in Houston. They live in Seattle now.
And last one up here.
Hugh Lewis, I'm with KTRK Channel 13 here in Houston. This is for Meb. At the end of the race, I saw your dad lift you up on his shoulder. And first of all, your dad must be pretty strong. And could you talk a little bit about your relationship with him and how that moment felt?
Yeah, my dad is a very strong man for 74. He's amazing. He can lift all three of us at the same time if he really wants to, but I remember he tried to do that with Ryan and I in Boston. He was so happy. It's a tradition when you do something really well, special, to put somebody on your shoulder. And they did that at my weddings. Many people do that, and you know, it's a special occasion. And he did that in high school at the Foot Locker, and screaming out, saying, "I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of my son." And he's saying, "USA today, USA, USA, USA." That's why we're chatting. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could spend more time with him. He has a phenomenal story. He has written about 700 pages, details of all his journey to Eritrea and what to Italy, to US, and what obstacles he went to, what he has done. And I wish I could publish it for him, but he's just an amazing individual who is very strong, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And he always says, they did a little bit of prayer for me this morning when I saw him. It's the first time I saw him on my warm-up, and he says, God's always in control.
Thank you. Give us a minute while we bring the ladies in. And thanks to the guys. Congratulations, and see you in London.